Okay, I'm going to try to put this bushing in the lower wishbone arm. So first thing is put this grease supply on. So I tried using a threaded rod, but the bushing just squishes at such an angle that I'm afraid I'm going to damage it. It might go, but since I have my handy $100 press here, I decided to try to use it. And it's a little bit of a struggle, so I found this PVC piece that the bushing fits into fairly nicely. When I try to just press it in with the press, it squishes and shoots out to the side, so this just helps contain it. And then a little bit complicated, I put the socket on, put this on, which pushes the bushing out, so I got to put another hand in here. And then I think I might be good to go here. I have to push up on this plastic PVC to keep the bushing from squirting out and pushing it down, but it's not too hard. Okay, a little bit of a misfire on the first shot. I just cut myself. There it goes. So it's in most of the way. Now it's easy. That's in. Get that lined up pretty close. So pretty quick. $100 press really paid for itself. It's kind of a junk tool, but it really saves me in places like this where you don't need tons of pressure, but just a little bit of straight down force and more than I can apply by hand. And now for the other end, so I've split in two, and I've already put the grease in here to lubricate it, also on the bushing piece. So these should go in a lot easier. See? Okay, that's one side. Almost getting it by hand, but the other side. There's the pen, which I also have lubricated. Use one more arm. So those go in very easily. One comment about the full kit from Moss, and they send you 12 bags of bushings and don't tell you which bushing goes where for the most part. They have a cryptic description. And then there's a note that says it doesn't include the front trunnion bushings. When you order it, it says it's a full kit for the whole car, of course. So then I ordered the front trunnion kit after trying to figure out what part number was what. I had to go to the Super Pro site and contact their tech support, and they finally gave me the right number to order. And I ordered it, and then I found out that it actually was in the Moss order under some other name. And so I've been fighting to cross-reference the Moss part number to the Super Pro number, because at least the Super Pro site has the information you need. But it was a real mess. Ended up with an extra set of front bushings here, but I'll save those for my TR3 if these work out well. There are the control arms all done, and they send this note that you don't use all the parts and you reassemble the trunnion in here. So I have to figure that out. But here's some of the Super Pro bags, and here's where I got, like, here's one that was Moss only. But if you go to the Super Pro site, they tell you need another part number, which I ordered. So it's just confusing between the two sets of part numbers that they have. Moss as their own number to confuse things. They don't give you a lot of information when you're ordering. I also have cross member bushings, but I don't even know where those go. I don't have a cross member that I know of. And then another thing that was, I had to talk to tech support about the front shock mount kit. It calls it universal shock pin bush, but there's also bushings for the rear shock linkage that have a different part number, but you can't tell which is which from the description on the Moss tag. So I had to get a hold of Super Pro and have them tell me which was which. It's a very, very subtle difference. Probably wouldn't have mattered, but you pay $400 or $500 for a bunch of fancy bushings. You think they could give you some decent instructions along with it. So this is another issue with this kit. I couldn't figure out what bushing went in my upper inner wishbone arm from the whole kit. None of them matched. Description worked, but I think it's the one that's labeled front lower inner bushing. And if you look on the Super Pro site, they show about the same bushing for the inner lower as the inner upper. The difference being there's no metal insert for the upper. So I had to call them again and confirm that that is what is intended and that this labeling is incorrect. Fortunately, the part number is correct. Moss didn't relabel this one like they did some of their other ones. So anyway, now I'm going to attempt to put these in. Applying upward force on the plastic. Put in. So if you can see that, it's not popped through, but that's easy now. And so I did look, and the part number on the bushing here stamped into it is the same as my lower arm part number. So the blue part is the same, the only difference being the metal insert.